Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for joining us today on our Open for Business webinar, our Personal-Wise first webinar here. My name is Jasmine, and I work here at the Clean Chamber. We wanted to talk today about how COVID-19 has affected our local businesses and their operation, and how consumers like you can patronize these businesses. I know right now with all of the different changing information and how crazy the world is right now, it can be kind of hard as a consumer to know what to do, how to be a consumer, how to get to these businesses. So we have a bunch of different businesses from a bunch of different varying industries to talk on their experience as those businesses. But we're going to start today with this beautiful lady on my screen, Alysia Perkins. She is a business counselor at the Business Resource Center for the Clean Chamber and Workforce. And Alysia, I was hopeful that you can kind of talk to our business owners about what are some good practices to have in place right now in this pandemic world.
Great. Thank you, Jasmine. So as you know, we're moving into what's known as the new normal. So I think our businesses want to have a really great hygiene plan for making those consumers and coming in, come back out as we start to reopen up to feel safe. So they want to make sure that everyone has good hand washing regimens, that they are wearing their mask when they're out and about in public places. Even us at the Business Resource Center, we stay ready and masked up. So when we need to cover up, we can do so. Hand sanitizing stations in certain areas. You want to make sure that the customers that they come in to patronize these businesses has that opportunity to sanitize their hands when they're touching different things, when they're making payments. There's really, in my opinion, there's no such thing as touchless payments. We see plastic over the credit card machines, and it's plastic that everyone's touching and the same machine that everyone's touching. So they want to make sure that they're sanitizing these stations, the payment machines, wiping down tables. It's a little bit more extra work, but it's worth it to go that extra mile to make sure that the customers that are wanting to come back out are feeling safe, and make sure that the staff is following their rules of wearing their masks, washing their hands. There's no substitution for good hand washing. And we know we want to sing that happy birthday song at least 2 times to make sure we're washing in between our fingers, getting under the fingernails. And just, again, it's a new normal. So it's what we should have been doing all along, but what we need to do now so that we can move forward safely.
Yeah, and I think that's just a really great point that you made. It's about making the consumer feel comfortable in your business because it's kind of a crazy world and it's unknown. And as business owners and as consumers, sometimes it can be hard to feel comfortable right now. So just even the littlest things that you can do, I think, is really important. And then I love that you said the happy birthday song because it is your birthday today. So happy birthday, ma'am.
Thank you.
So again, you're a business counselor. So are people starting businesses right now in this pandemic world?
Actually, the positive thing about having this pandemic and the shelter in place order is that people are taking the time to put in the thoughts and work to getting businesses started. So the answer is yes. We do have businesses that are being started, LLCs. I'm getting phone calls because currently we are still closed, but we'll be open for appointments July 6th. So call us to make those appointments, and I'm here to answer any questions. So they are starting businesses. They're taking the time to use this open time to work on business plans, find out about lending. And right now, a lot of the lending is geared towards keeping businesses going and generating the income that they need to pay their current employees, but there are still resources for getting started. And so we're always here to talk about that. All of our services are free $99 minus the 99. So I'm always here to help you. I also work in the office with a young lady by the name of Miriam Barraza, and she's also standing by to take these calls, and we'll be ready for setting up appointments when we open next week. Awesome. So we're here for our community, and we love helping our business community.
Awesome. Alysia, can you give people some contact information, like a phone number or an email? What's the best way to get in contact with y'all?
So we have a couple of numbers. So if you call 254-220-01, So that's 2001. You'll reach Miriam and myself. That's the universal extension. It rings to both of us. But if you dial 254-200-2011, that will get myself, and 254-200-2012, that will get you Miss Miriam. And we also have emails. So to contact with me would be Alysia@syntexbrc.com. And Miriam would be her name, Miriam@syntexbrc.com. So we will contact you back through email or phone call. So either way, or again, set those in-office appointments, and we'll be happy to answer any questions and help along their entrepreneurial journey in any way we can.
Awesome. You're the best. So if you guys have any questions for Alysia, she may be on the stream for another couple of minutes. So if you have those, drop those down in our comments below this video and we will answer them live. So if you have any burning questions about small business, or if you are a small business and you would like some advice on how to make people more comfortable in your business, definitely drop those down there. Thank you, Alysia, and happy birthday. All right. So we are going to move on to Mr. Kelly Brown of Big Hoss Barbecue. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. So, Kelly, you are a local restaurant owner in Killeen. So, can you kind of speak to what it's been like to be a restaurant here in Killeen in this kind of crazy world, what you guys have done, that kind of stuff?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, we've got a catering business that we've had for 16 years and a restaurant that will be celebrating 11 years this October. So we've seen all kinds of ups and downs in the community, but this is unlike anything obviously we've ever seen before. So from a catering perspective, I'll start there, and I'll probably speak for most caterers in the area. Everything came to a screeching halt in March. And there's still not a normal based on the restrictions that are in place today. So, March, we're trailing into the end of June and going into July, and there's still not a normal for the catering side of the business. The restaurant side's a little bit different. Obviously the dine-in service ended fairly rapidly, and everyone was forced to shift into this to-go style. So the faster you could change course and move, I think the more productive it was for all restaurant owners. So some of the things that we were challenged with up front was the fast turnaround. So once the orders came out, how quickly could we assemble back into becoming a to-go facility, having all the proper sanitation requirements in place. So we came up with a COVID-19 food defense plan. We had to roll that out to all of our employees prior to opening that following weekend with the to-go service. And we were successful in that, like most restaurants in the area that I've frequented and seen. So I think as a community, we embraced it and very rapidly made the proper changes to try to make patrons feel comfortable. And then the order came out that we could start to reopen and slowly make that transition, which brought on a whole new level of food defense that had to be put in place, sanitary needs. Alysia talked about some of that, but the wearing of the mask by the employees, the wearing gloves, one-time use, plates and cups and silverware. We've even gone as far as, at least in our businesses, removing the tablecloths and going to a one-time use tablecloth, and then sanitize the table, following that. Cleaning door handles, the regimen on bathrooms. I mean, you don't think about how often you have to do these things and how many touch points there are in a business until you have to do it consistently and all the time. So lots of changes. We have meetings constantly with the staff as reminders to make sure that it stays top of mind, and that nobody gets comfortable and starts missing because of the level of importance, obviously, in keeping people safe and comfortable visiting our restaurant and others in the area. So definitely some changes.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like quite a bit. I like that you called it food defense. That's kind of a cool word to use for this kind of crazy time.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you guys are kind of a untraditional business in the respect that you guys are only open certain days of the week. So what are those hours? Has those changed? What does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we first were operating just in the to-go process, we did limit the hours. Our goal was to meet the needs of the customers, and had to obviously cut expenses. But the ultimate goal was to retain all employees, keep them on staff, and paid, so that we didn't add to the unemployment numbers that are bruising our area right now. So we did reduce our hours then. Now that we've reopened for dine-in, they're still adjusted some. Our Fridays are 4 to 8. Our Saturdays are 11 to 8, and Sundays are 11 to 7. So a few minor adjustments, nothing major as far as that piece goes. Yeah.
I love it. So, as a consumer and as one of your biggest fans,
Thank
you
you.
guys are the best, one of the best barbecues in town. Not biased. What can we do as a consumer? So, is it dining in? Do you guys still have takeout? Like, how can we help support you guys
Yeah.
locally?
Sure. So for us, absolutely, just patronizing our business, whether it's in the to-go fashion, if you're more comfortable with picking it up and taking it home, and you're not ready for that dine-in experience yet, or the dine-in experience. Obviously, our staff is eager and always happy to serve our customers, so we love seeing smiling faces come through the door. I think another thing that helps, not just our business, but business in general, if people are just at a point where they're just not comfortable getting out yet, even with the new orders that or suggestions that have come out in the last week, if you get gift cards, if you're purchasing gift cards from local businesses and restaurants for future use, I think that right there will help a business stay afloat and move forward for future earnings.
Yeah, gift cards are such a great way to kind of
Absolutely.
keep your favorite local restaurant, have kind of a cash inflow. And then it's a nice little promise to yourself because you're like, I'm going to get to eat there,
When this
whatever
is
the
over,
time is.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a nice little like a future payment for yourself. It's kind of a fun way to do that. So that's great.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly, how can people check out your to-go menu, all of that sort of stuff for Big Hoss?
Yeah, so easiest way to find our menu options is www.bighossbbq.com. So it's BIGHOSSBBQ.com. Or you can always call us 254-702-8243.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kelly, for all that you do for us here in the community. And is there anything else you'd like to say before we switch to Miss Kathy?
No, I thank you for letting me join. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Bye, Kelly.
Bye.
All right, we are joined by Miss Kathy Sweem of Ameristore. Hi,
Hey,
Kathy. I am well. How are you?
I'm good.
Are you in a storage unit? I love this.
I'm actually in our showroom. I'm in our showroom.
So Kathy is one of the managers and operators at Amerisource Self Storage. So she kind of knows the storage industry in this area. So how have things kind of changed for you guys in this kind of post-COVID kind of world here?
Well, actually, what we've had to do is every time a customer comes in, which I have one in the building, so I actually have to put this on because when a customer's in the building, we put a mask on, of course. So I hope you can hear me. But of course, we're open 7 days a week. That hasn't changed. We were considered an essential business during this whole time, so we were open. So we didn't slow down one bit. People were moving and grooving this whole time. I think because they were home, they decided they need to move stuff out of their house, or because they were laid off, they moved in with their other family members too. So it was very busy for us. Also, a lot of facilities shut down where we did not, because we were still allowed to stay open and the owner wasn't going to shut down. So we continued with the truck rentals and we continued with the storage as well. So we stayed very, very busy.
Yeah.
It was very crazy. It's been very crazy.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's been business as usual. Other than we sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. I tell people the truck smells like chlorine in between customers. So um,
I
we
love
take
that.
care. We take care of our customers. We sanitize the desk area daily, multiple times, and we wear our mask. And we tell the customers to put on a mask because we don't want to get sick, and we don't want them to get sick. So, and then Dory, my little dog, she stays home right now, so
Oh,
we don't even let her. We don't want people to be coming around the desk area, so we do things to maintain more social distancing because she is an incentive for them want to go around the desk area. So we don't provide the candy anymore at the desk. We don't provide Dory the distraction. So once all this is over, things will go back to a normal, hopefully, and we can bring her back to the office.
yeah. Well, that's great news that you guys have stayed busy. So we love hearing that. Is there any way that people can help support y'all? So I know that you guys do way more than storage, but I don't know if a lot of people know that. So can you tell people about U-Haul, about boxes, that kind of stuff?
Right. We have everything you need for moving. You need trucks, you need boxes, supplies. We keep a full line of everything you need for moving. If you need, if you're planning on moving, or if you're moving from one state to another state, or if you're moving from one house to another, come see me. I have everything you need for that move. So
Awesome.
we
Well,
have everything you need.
great. I love it. Well, Kathy, how can people contact you? What's a good phone number? Any of that kind of information.
We're at 254-628-7600. It's real easy to memorize. And then you can also reach us on our website at ameristore.com. We're also on the U-Haul website, and we're also on sparefoot.com. You can also make reservations on sparefoot.com as well.
I love it. Well, Kathy, is there anything else you'd like to say? Yours was quick and to the point. I like it.
Just come see us. I mean, we're open for business. Just bring a mask. So we will be
Awesome.
more than happy to show you around and with your trip. And we also have plenty of units right now. Sizes from 10 by 20 to 10 by 10 is our smallest size, and a 5 by 10 non-climate. So come see me.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Miss Kathy. All right, we are
Thank
going to move on to Daniel Hall. Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Jasmine. How are you?
I am well. So for the folks that don't know, Daniel Hall he works at the Boys and Girls Club, and they are kind of in the middle of moving right now, which is kind of exciting. So Daniel, can you talk about what it's been like to be a nonprofit in this area in the pandemic, and specifically like a kid nonprofit, and what it's been like for you guys?
A whirlwind of uncertainty. Like most businesses, the unknown of what's to come has been challenging for us. But ever since the pandemic began, we really tried to find a way to adapt and overcome, and to continue to serve the youth that need us most in this community. That really began March 30th, after closing for about a week with the local school districts. We opened our doors at 10 sites to serve the youth and mission essential employees. That's 10 sites throughout the region in Waco, Georgetown, Taylor, Gatesville, Coppers Cove, Lampasas, as well as Killeen, Harker Heights, and Nolanville. That posture continued throughout the month of April and into about May 20th. And that is still currently the model we're operating under now. The Boys and Girls Club experience is very different than it traditionally is. Currently, we have across those 10 sites about 185 kids attending daily. When the world is normal, that number is closer to 1,500 to 2,000 during the summertime, which is our busy season. Yes, much different. What the Boys and Girls Club experience in the club is very restrained, if you will. We're currently operating off of ratios that equate to 8 kids per 1 staff member in a given classroom. All of those kids are effectively social distancing They're going through rigorous sanitation and safety protocols. We're checking temperatures at the door, asking COVID-19 questionnaire or exposure questionnaires, very similar to like your traditional childcare. Initially, while the school year was still ongoing, we played a really important role in serving as an extension of the classroom, trying to really support distance learning. I personally, my son has been going to the club since this started, and being in that smaller setting, I've actually seen his learning capacity really increase. He's come home talking, speaking Spanish and telling me the days of the week and counting 1 to 60 in Spanish, learning about history and science. I've seen great progression in his reading. It's been an interesting experiment for us. Here lately, and I know the folks at the Chamber will appreciate this, we've actually started our Lemonade Day virtual learning. So all of our clubs throughout Central Texas are doing Lemonade Day in this COVID-19 social distancing setting. And my son's actually been, and some of our other kids have actually been sitting outside the clubs wearing masks, trying to sell Lemonade Day to practice their skills as parents start to pick up. Been challenging times. We have a silver lining is there's been a lot of great corporate support, whether here locally or even nationally, and to support our COVID-19 response. Everything I've described to you takes a huge staff burden. We're doubling the amount of staff we have to have in our clubs and grossly capping the capacity of the kids we can serve. Thankfully, as you mentioned, we're moving. That move is a transition for our admin offices, as well as the opening of a brand new club facility in downtown Killeen. This is something that has been underway since really about October of last year. And it's our hope by mid-July to open up that new facility to serve the kids on our waiting list. It will have the capacity to serve about 30 to 40 kids in our COVID-19 response, but hopefully many more as we return back to normal.
Yeah, that's so cool. I saw your building this morning when I was coming into work, and I was like, oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous out there. I love that you guys, because it used to be an old bank. So I love that you have kept some of that character in there. So it's really cute.
Yes. Yeah, we kept a vault. We inherited an old 13-ton vault right in the center of the most important place in the club, and it's going to have a really exciting repurpose where we'll be teaching financial literacy classes for our kids inside that vault.
Well, doesn't that make sense? I love it. Like, and it's kind of crazy because COVID happened and it's happening and we're trending upward. But I think it's important to remember that kids are still kids. And I love that there's still an opportunity with you guys that they get to go be kids in this kind of pandemic world and learn and get to do fun stuff like Lemonade Day and stuff. So, what can people do to help be a consumer with you guys? What can they do to help?
So there is one way to help as a result of all the heightened operations that I described. We've had to institute a fee for our services during this time, and that fee is $50 per week per child or $10 per day. It is never our desire to put into place a financial barrier for our services. And so we are working to grow a robust day camp scholarship fund. And if anyone is interested in supporting the club, being a consumer, if you will, you can visit our website, which is bgctx.org, and you'll be prompted to consider a donation to our Day Camp Scholarship Fund. And that will immediately go to ensuring kids on our wait list, kids that might have a financial constraint, have access to a Boys and Girls Club facility during this time. And from an economic perspective, more often than not, those kids that are able to come to the club, that's putting their parents back to work. Whether it's during the school year when school is closed or during the summer, we give the safe space to the kids that need it so that our families can go back to work and have thriving economic pathways.
Yeah, I love that, Daniel. I think that's great. So how can people get in contact with y'all? Is there a good phone number? You mentioned the website, but just one more time.
Of course. So it really, especially in the midst of this transition, I don't know when our phone lines are going to be back up anytime soon, but our website is the best way to really get access to our services. It is bgctx.org, or anyone can feel free to email me with a question. That my email is dhall, first letter of my name, or first initial of my name, last name, at bgctx.org.
You guys like your letters there. I love it.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Daniel. Is there anything else that you would like to say before we move on to Miss Katie?
No, thanks, Jasmine.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel. All right, we're moving to Miss Katie with Grace Christian Center. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Jasmine.
Hello. So you guys are obviously a church in our area. So can you kind of speak to what it's been like to be a church in kind of a pandemic world, what you guys have done, and what you guys are doing now?
So we are fully utilizing the online services, taking those to effect, and not meeting in person. Probably won't be meeting in person until about September, late August. So that's kind of what it's looking like for us. We've seen a lot of other churches in the community open up and then have to close back down because of spikes in cases. So we're just holding off and keeping those online services going. Not having a lot of events, but we are still trying to reach out to the community in any way that we can. Drop off donations at places. Still continuing our Bags of Grace, which is our donation ministry, and supporting nonprofits in the area. So we're just reaching out as much as we can.
Yeah, you guys have been really busy, which is, it's so silly because you guys have been, you just recently got back into office like a month or so ago. Yeah, and even during that time, it was just funny to see all of the things. I was like, look at them. It's like they never slowed down. So that's awesome. So it's, obviously being a church, most of your stuff kind of happens in person. So can you speak to how that digital stuff has been going over? So you guys do like a Facebook Live for your service, or what does that look like?
So you can go through the website. So we just rebranded ourselves. So the new website is mygrace.org. And you can go on there and join our 9 o'clock service, the 10:45 service, or the 12:30 service. And we offer services for kids, for students, and for adults, obviously. And there's a little chat box. You can chat in there, shout people out, give everyone a hello. Try and make it as personal as possible online. But still got those going.
That's awesome. You guys have such a huge congregation, so it's cool that you guys get to meet even on a digital kind of platform that way. And you're, I always make the joke that you guys should make your own movies, because the way that you guys like film your services and things, it's very movie quality. So yeah, I love that so much. Yeah. So being a church, you don't really have like a quote unquote product, but how can people still, volunteer or patronize or donate to you guys during this time?
Go to the website, figure out what's going on. I know we don't have a lot of events, but I think next month we'll do another Colleen Food Care Center. So volunteers for that, come out and feed families. We will be having a blood drive on July 16th from 10 to 3. So it's open to the public. Anybody can come and give blood. That is in high demand right now. So, and also July 14th, we are having a voting day. So we will be a site for you to come vote. So you can come and do that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, cool. So the website is probably a good way to get in contact with y'all. But is there a phone number in case people prefer to call that would be best to call?
Yes, let me pull it back up.
Katie has been in this role for less than 3 weeks now, so she kind of got thrown in. Yeah.
Okay, so phone number 254-634-6990. And then you can give me a shout out, ask for me, or Misty. She is the Grace Connections coordinator, so she can also answer any questions you have. So, or at mygrace.org.
Perfect. Well, Katie, is there anything else that you'd like to say before we move on to Mr. Russ?
Join us online.
Awesome. Thanks, Katie.
Thank you.
All right. Last but certainly not least, Mr. Russ Nelson, how are you?
Doing great. How about you, Jasmine?
Good. So obviously, he is from Lamar Advertising. See how good he is at advertising? Look at that. With his logo back there. So, Russ, can you speak to what it's like marketing in kind of a billboard space, a digital space. What has it been like for you guys?
Well, I'm a senior account executive with Lamar Advertising. I've been with Lamar now for 19 years. So obviously I was here for the crash in '08. We had, a recession back in '01. And we thought, when this thing started, we were going to see just a short little blip and then we're back to business as normal. And certainly we haven't done that since mid-March. So we shut our office down as far as our office personnel. Our operations staff, however, they were considered essential. So we worked around that. Basically our operations manager put together the work orders for our crew and then handed those out outside the office. So he was basically the only one in the office to start with. And our crew worked in teams and did a great job. They kept us going. The office personnel had to adjust and work from home as best they could, and the sales personnel as well. So, and of course, when businesses were shut down, some of our long-term advertisers, obviously, they had to cut personnel, they had to pause, they wanted to pause everything and wanted to cancel their advertising. That's one of the first things businesses like to trim back whenever, things get tough, obviously. So Lamar, I think, did a pretty smart thing in that they allowed our customers to pause their contracts. So some of our long-term advertisers were able to pause. We kept their billboards up, but we didn't bill them for it. We just paused their contract for 4 weeks and then allowed them to add that 4 weeks at the end of their contract. So that helped with the cash flow problem for some of those businesses that had to close down. So that was one of the ways we adjusted. And then obviously we couldn't call on businesses in person when this thing started, when the shelter in place order was in effect. So we just had to adjust the way we contact our customers and potential customers and use the phone and the email. And we instituted Salesforce in Lamar back late last year, which is a CRM service, and through that we can propose or send proposals via email and talk to people on the phone and show them our screen. They can see what we're seeing. We can describe locations, talk strategy, and that type of thing. So we've just adjusted the way we work with our customers as we all have had to do. We've all had to kind of change the way we work with our customers.
Yeah, completely agree. Right now it is more important than ever to have advertising and marketing and things like that with your business, because, it's kind of a bunch of information at once. So it's kind of a good business to be in sometimes to try to get the advertising message out there.
Well, it's changed the way people advertise too. Like it's changed the way maybe the marketing, that you were doing before. You've totally changed it. Now you've gone to social media more so than before. Just the message itself, open for business, was essential for some people because people may not have known they were back open. So just saying open for business or open for drive-through, curbside service, those are things that people have been advertising because, as Kelly mentioned earlier, some people are not comfortable yet going into a restaurant. So it's important for those restaurants to let customers know, hey, we can still give you great food, great service, and bring it out to your car or come through our drive-through windows. So it's definitely been a challenge, and it's changed the way we do things.
Yeah, completely agree. But you guys are super innovators, so I have no doubts that you guys have paved the way for that. So can you speak to how consumers or businesses can get in contact or what they can utilize you guys for? Because you guys are a huge resource right now, and I don't think people know that. So
we offer what we call static, the old-fashioned billboards, so to speak, the big billboards on the interstate. We call those bulletins. They're smaller boards that we call posters. They're about half the size of the bulletins. And then our digital displays, which is something relatively new. We've been doing that now for about 10 years or so. But the digital displays offer a lot of flexibility. You can be up and running in a very short amount of time, change your copy as often as you need to. It's very flexible. So those are things that we can offer to help people know about what your business is offering during these times. You can check out our website. It's lamar.com. If you put a /temple on the end of that, that'll allow you to look at some of the local inventory. We also have a Facebook page. So if you'd like to get on Facebook and look us up, it's Lamar Advertising of Temple. That's where our office is located. Although we do service from Hillsboro down to Salado and from Temple over to Copper's Cove. And all that area is where this office serves. And then my phone number is 254-534-1112. And my email address is rnelson@lamar.com, and be happy to visit with you about how we can help your business.
Awesome. You're the best, Russ. It's like you've been in advertising for a while. I love it. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you would go on? Sorry.
I was just going to say thank you for inviting us and including us, and we appreciate everything the Chamber has done. I think you guys have done a fantastic job of informing people and allowing people to see what's going on out there, and I think the Chamber's done a great job.
Well, thank you. We definitely are trying. It's trying to get information out. That's what's important. So thank you, Russ.
Thank you
so much. Well, that is everybody that we have here to talk about our Open for Business. But certainly, if you are a business in the Killeen, Central Texas area, drop your Facebook, your website in the comments. Drop if you're open, how people can get in contact with you. We certainly want to help get that message out there. So even if you're watching this after the live, drop it in the comments. You'll be surprised at how many people will see it at that point. So I want to really thank those that were on our webinar today. Thank you so much, Alysia Perkins from Business Resource Center, Kelly Brown from Big House Barbecue, Russ Nelson from Lamar, Katie from Grace Christian Center, Kathy Sweem from Ameristore, and Daniel Hall from Boys and Girls Club. Thank you guys so much for coming and talking about that. There's a couple of quick things coming up on our calendar for you guys. So if you like these webinars and you want to see more, well, you're in luck. We got quite a few on the docket. So tomorrow is another StatusWise installation, which is going to be COVID in broader terms. So if you have some questions on what the data looks like in our area, what COVID looks like, definitely stay tuned for information on that. Then Thursday, we're going on to our first BusinessWise, which is marketing with Canva. So we're living in a world right now where we're all trying to adapt to making content ourselves, and sometimes without the help of a graphic designer. Canva is a tool that we utilize at the Chamber quite a bit. It's a free tool that's amazing and super fun. So tune in on Thursday, and our very own Rebecca Moon is going to talk about Canva and come and create a flyer with us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And thank you guys so much for patronizing these businesses in our area. We love Killeen, obviously, and we know that you guys do too. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, again, that are after watching this live, drop them in the comments and we'll get them to the right people. Thank you.